12 News breaking news now.
Good evening. Crews are currently battling a wildfire north of Sedona that has already prompted evacuations and shut down a part of State Route 89A. Forest officials confirm the fire is burning on national forest land. It's burned about 500 acres.
Coconino County has issued a go order for visitors and residents in Oak Creek Canyon between Sedona and Forest Highlands. The order includes dispersed camping around the West Fork and nearby areas above the rim.
State Route 89A closed in both directions from Sedona milepost 374 to I-17 near Flagstaff. Right now, there is no estimated time on when the road will reopen.
And as the night settles in, flames can be seen throughout the region. This video was sent to us by a viewer who can see the fire there, and they're seeing it from the city of Jerome. That is about 31 miles from Sedona. And then earlier tonight, we spoke with Randy Schaefer with the U.S. Forest Service.
She said right now, both rangers and sheriff's deputies are trying to evacuate residents who live in that area.
To those evacuation orders, we're advising folks to avoid travel down Woody Mountain Road, that's Forest Road 231, to the edge of the world area, just so that they don't impede our firefighting operations. We are also asking folks to avoid drone use in the areas, as drones can really impede firefighting efforts, especially when we're using aerial resources.
The American Red Cross has also opened up a shelter for evacuees. It's located at Sedona Red Rock High School. And joining us on the phone right now is John Paxton from the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. John, thanks for joining us. How bad is this right now?
Well, I'll leave the damage that's being done by the fire right now. I know that we are working on evacuations right now. We also have some extended trails such as West Fork, which we could potentially have multiple dispersed campers up in that area. So we've deployed SAR teams up into that region. That's a 14-mile long canyon. Obviously, it's Friday night, the beginning of the weekend. So the canyon was full at that point, and we're in the process of still working on evacuations.
And John, what is your biggest concern right now with this fire?
Well, obviously it's people. Once again, it was Friday night in June, which means most campgrounds were full, and we are just trying to make sure we make contact with as many people as we can. I think the biggest concern we have right now is potentially going to be those dispersed campers that may be off trail or up a ways on some of these more extended, long trails where they have to camp at least 5 miles back. So that's probably our biggest concern right now.
And John, sometimes when we see these fires, they break out in a very remote area where there are no people or buildings. But when you're talking about Oak Creek Canyon, you've got a lot of folks who live there, who have second homes there, who come up for the weekend, and it happens to be Father's Day weekend.
Correct.
With the way this fire is moving right now and with the wind conditions, how do you think this is going to track?
Oh, I won't speculate on that. I know the wind seems to be picking up a little bit here, but I'll leave those statistics and how the fire is going to react. I'll leave that to the Forest Service.
Human caused?
I don't know at this time. It's my understanding this started at a location called the Edge of the World, and that's the only information I have on that. But it coming down the side of the rim there prompted this evacuation and concern.
And John, for those folks who are watching right now, do you have any advice for people who are going to be out and about across our state as we head into this wildfire season?
Yeah, obviously, if this was human-caused, if this was man-made caused, we were under fire restrictions right now. No campfires were allowed at that time. So we just ask that people, for an obvious reason right now, is to follow those rules. This is why these are out there, because it is such a dangerous time right now for wildfires.
All right, John Paxton, thank you so much. I know you've got a long night ahead of you getting people out and finding people who maybe haven't heard that there's a fire burning, so we'll let you get to it, but we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring in meteorologist Chris Dunn.
Chris, is there anything contributing to the fire in terms of weather conditions?
Well, just the fact that it has been so dry and just a little bit of wind to stir things up can only make things worse. We've seen typical heat. Sedona, for example, hit 93 degrees today. It's been very dry. Only about 1 inch of rain so far this year at Sedona. And in Phoenix, only about 1/3 of an inch of rain since the start of the year. And this will probably be the second driest first half of the year on record. And not too windy. That wind can fan the flames. We'll check out the wind right now. 6-mile-per-hour winds reported at the Sedona airport. It's currently calm in Flagstaff, but we'll go through this daily cycle and where the winds start to pick up in the afternoon out of the southwest. 19-mile-per-hour, 20-mile-per-hour winds, Prescott, 19 in Flagstaff. Not super totally windy like it has been so far this spring and early summer season. The stronger winds out here a little bit farther to the east. That's where we have a red flag warning for the high fire danger, northeastern Arizona. 5 to 10% relative humidities and wind gusts to 35 miles per hour. But the fire danger level on our scale, if you get into the 4s, 5s, and 6s, that's closer to the extreme level, and we will find a lot of that across northern Arizona through the day tomorrow, especially in the afternoon. Back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you. And we also have an update on the Sycamore fire. This one is burning north of Globe. A set advisory has been placed for Griffin Ranch. The fire started Monday due to lightning about 15 miles north of Globe, and it's still at 0% containment. It has burned over 3,000 acres. Residents at Griffin Ranch should be ready to evacuate.
3 heat-related deaths have been reported at the Grand Canyon within the last week. A 72-year-old man died from heat-related illness on June 12th along the South Kaibab Trail. A 67-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman both died from heat-related illnesses on the North Kaibab Trail on June 16th. In both situations, hikers were on trails in the inner canyon where temperatures can exceed 109 during midday hours. The Park Service is warning hikers to stay off the inner canyon trails between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m.
Tonight, a 3-year-old boy is fighting for his life in the hospital after being pulled from a swimming pool. 12 News journalist Maria Staub shares more from the man who jumped in to help and the life-saving reminder around water this summer season.
Poor little guy.
A frantic afternoon for Martin Zaragoza as he was returning from work to his apartment complex near 7th Avenue and Camelback.
I turned that corner and I saw something floating, and it looked like what could have been maybe a kid or maybe like a little doll or something.
His instincts were right.
I wish I would have just ran straight in. You know, it's seconds. It's literally seconds, and you're so overwhelmed.
A 3-year-old boy was floating face down in the pool.
No, I just saw him, pulled him out. Pops came over, tried to help him out.
Phoenix Fire says 911 dispatchers walked them through CPR before paramedics arrived.
Everybody came as fast as they could.
Even though there's a fence around the pool, it's unclear how the toddler got through the gate and how long he was in the pool for. But he was taken to the hospital in extremely critical condition.
The status of the child being in extremely critical condition leads us to believe it was it was more than a little bit of time. It was probably a more extended amount of time that this child was in the pool.
This comes just days after first responders were called to 3 separate child drowning and near drowning emergencies in a matter of hours. One of those cases ended tragically when a 2-year-old boy died in Gilbert, the second child drowning in the valley this year. Children in Queen Creek and Goodyear were also pulled from the water, with CPR started before crews arrived.
So just in those examples, you can tell that CPR is a huge deal, and you need to know that.
Jay Arthur, president of the Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona, says layers of protection matter. Constant supervision, secure pool barriers, and making sure someone who can swim is always designated to watch the water.
It can happen to anybody, and you need to be prepared for it.
A message Martine echoes after witnessing those critical moments firsthand.
At the end of the day, just, all I got to say is just take those CPR classes. Don't skip out on those. If you know someone who knows them, don't skip out on those.
In Phoenix, Maria Staubs, 12 News.
All right, Maria, thank you. Tonight, the eminent domain battle between ASU and a historic home in downtown Phoenix continues. The university's Board of Regents wanted to demolish the home to make way for a brand new health headquarters.
But tonight we've learned that the land that's at the center of this lawsuit won't even be part of the building itself. 12 News journalist Chase Golightly is live at 4th Street and Fillmore. And Chase, the homeowner, understandably is not happy about it.
Mark, that's right. According to the lawsuit, ASU's plan would be to demolish the historic Lewis Emerson home right behind me and then turn the land it sits on into an open space.
Barry Schwartz has been living at the Lewis Emerson home for about 8 years, a small fraction of its 124-year history.
All the people that come by, they ask questions, they knock on the door, they sit and stare at the plaque.
In that time, from his front patio, he's seen everything around him change.
And there was literally nothing here. You could see the sun set going west right there. You can't see any of that now.
Making it a unique feature compared to the towering buildings across the street. He and the homeowner, Robert Young, want to keep it that way.
Not just another house. It's got meaning. It's got beauty.
Then both were hit with a lawsuit by the Arizona Board of Regents on behalf of ASU to claim the land the home sits on. ASU recently broke ground in that same area for a new medical school campus that will focus on healthcare and research. Since then, Young and Schwartz have been fighting it.
The house needs to reflect its past. The future is nothing unless you have the past.
But then they learned the plans of what ASU would do with the land. According to the lawsuit, the new health headquarters or any of its buildings wouldn't sit on that parcel of land. Instead, it would be used as an open space.
Well, that's an insult to history.
It's not clear what exactly that open space would look like, if it would be a patio, terrace, or just an open area. But Schwartz and Young don't like the idea of this historic home being destroyed for it.
Why would a house of 126 years of history be taken down for a patch of grass? I don't understand it.
Another reason why they won't stop fighting to keep this home standing.
Even if they get an order of destruction, I'll get out there like the guy did in Tiananmen Square. And I would go to jail for this, for Lewis Emerson. Absolutely. I love that house.
Now, in a previous statement from ASU about the situation, they told us that they did make several offers to the homeowner to buy out the land. They even offered to pay to relocate the home, but both parties could not come to an agreement. The next court hearing in the situation will happen in September. We're live in downtown Phoenix tonight. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
All right, Chase, thank you. Well, beaver nuggets, brisket, and a lot of buzz can only mean one thing. Buc-ee's is almost here. The first Buc-ee's in Arizona opens up on Monday in Goodyear, and people are already starting to arrive ahead of the big day. Today, first responders and their families were treated to free food and a first peek. The gas station boasts 120 pumps, a 74-foot, 1,000 square foot store, and award-winning and very clean bathrooms.
Ahead of the grand opening on Monday, 12 News journalist Troy Lynch has more on how to get to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, the wait is almost over. Buc-ee's is going to be opening up just off of Bullard Ave off of the 10 Monday morning. The parking lot opens up at midnight and the doors officially open at 6 a.m. So this is the route that you are going to be able to get into so you can see Buc-ee's at 6. So you can come on the 10 either from the east or the west. And then unfortunately, you're going to have to go all the way around 6.5 miles, really close to Goodyear Ballpark, and then come all the way back up. That is the only way you are going to be able to make it to Buc-ee's on Monday. So there are a few things that you're going to need to know if you are trying to show up. There are going to be long lines, so you're going to want to bring snacks and water because you could be waiting in traffic for a long period of time. You got to expect that. And then also We Ride, that is their public transportation in the city of Goodyear. That's not going to be going to Buc-ee's. And then also when you are leaving Buc-ee's, all of that traffic is going to be going on the 10 East. You are not going to be able to go west. And the last thing you need to know, again, I'm going to reiterate this. It's parking lot opens up at midnight. The doors officially open at 6 a.m. And then at 8 a.m. is going to be the ribbon cutting ceremony. We're going to have extensive coverage about Buc-ee's opening up because it's the only one in the state of Arizona.
All right, Troy, thank you.